I am very excited to sit down now with Lori and Tyler. Lori with RETC.
RETC.
Tyler with Cherre. Before we kick off, just please introduce yourselves. And Tyler, maybe tell us a little bit more about Cherre as well.
Sure. I'm Lori Reeves. I have been in the multifamily technology industry for more than 3 decades. This is kind of my act 2. I retired and I am now working with RETC, which launched yesterday. And we're really excited about all the things we're going to do to help the industry figure out technology and real estate. So,
congratulations on a big launch.
Thank you.
And I'm Tyler Christensen. I head up industry solutions over at Cherre. So I oversee all solutions architecture, pre-sales, things like that. Cherre is a data aggregation and management platform built specifically for real estate. And really what we're doing is helping our clients drive trust in their data by providing observability and validation and really tying the data that's flowing through the system to the needs of the business.
Amazing. Lori, the launch of RETC, I know it's been a labor of love. It's been a long time in the making. Tell us about a few of the initiatives that you've been kind of putting together behind the scenes with the team, and then we'll dig more specifically into MITs just in a moment.
Okay. Well, the vision for RETC really was there's just so much technology coming at the industry now, and everybody's trying to figure it out, and NMHC really wanted to put a focus on technology. And then there's the whole regulatory side, a lot of eyes on the industry, and making sure that we advocate that, tech is a force for good. It will help make housing more affordable as tech makes us more efficient. So that's the main reason that RETC was created. And, we have all the tech and innovation committees came over from NMHC into the space. OpTech moves into the space. Kind of our vision is to have more of a OpTech 365 where it isn't just once a year. We can communicate, have committees working on, whatever the issue of the day is kind of thing, knowledge sharing. So just more and more, lots of in-person and virtual events as well. So really excited that it's finally here.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Let's go into one of the really technical initiatives that we caught wind of, which is called MITs. Would you just initially tell the audience, what does MITs stand for? And maybe tell us the history of MITs.
Okay. So MITs stands for, it's a mouthful, Multifamily Information Transaction Standards. MITs started back in 2001 when all of a sudden there was a big tech shift like we're facing now, and our applications were all on the web all of a sudden. They weren't sitting in our file servers. And so as more and more of these applications come up, they had to communicate with each other, and they needed a common language. So the industry came together back then, much as it is now, to come up with a common language, a data model to share information with a screening provider and a application processor and all of the different types of solutions out there. And so that's how MITs started. We built a lot of standards. They've been in place and used for over 2 decades. And really in 2018, they kind of became static. There wasn't any real need for updates. But now, in the environment we're in right now, there's been a lot, as I mentioned just earlier, a lot of focus on regulatory in our industry. And so we have to react. Our standards are being updated to include more fees so that we can provide fee transparency to American renters, consumers who are looking for properties. And so that's the work we're doing now.
This is huge. We're excited about it.
Yeah.
Tyler, maybe tell us Cherre's involvement specifically in MITs 2.0.
Sure. So RETC partnered with Cherre and Oscar, which is the Open Standards Council on Real Estate, to come in and really help drive the update of that standard from essentially 2 different paths. One path is starting with fee transparency, but making sure that this data standard continues to support the business as it needs to be supported and that it's fit for purpose, and also to update sort of the underlying technology that supports this standard, moving away from XML to technologies like JSON.
Tell us about the really specific benefits. In our ecosystem, we have two distinct sides, right? We have the vendor partners, we have you call them ODMs, I think, you owner developers managers.
Yes.
Tell us specifically about the benefits of MITS 2.0 as it pertains to ODMs, and then maybe let's talk about the other side of the ecosystem as well.
Am I taking ODMs?
Yeah, why don't you take ODMs?
So I guess for ODMs, it's knowing that your policies, procedures, standards, how you want to run your business is in your software platform, and then how you want to integrate with your service partners, that gets through to them. So you don't have to explain to them that I call it an admin fee, not an application fee. That's in the system, and the standard will transmit that to all your service partners. And I think it helps owners. Really, it's the beginning of data governance. If they really look at the data model, they can start to, call things the same thing in their lease work documents, on their websites, with all the ILS partners they maybe advertise with. So it's beginning of a common language, which is also the beginning of data governance and the discipline too.
Amazing.
Yeah, not let it shift every 6 months back to the old language.
We have witnessed this firsthand. Like we're beginning our integration journey as revised, and just the inconsistencies. Like even as something as simple as a guest card is called one thing in one platform, something completely different in another platform. Standardization will help this whole industry.
Yeah, and the owners have the same. They'll have 7 properties in one geography, and they'll call it 7 different things.
With that reporting,
it really helps you get your arms around that.
Amazing. Tyler, tell us specifically for the vendor ecosystem, the benefits of a MITS 2.0.
Sure. So if you think about data as sort of the connective tissue that connects the consumer to the owner-operator and the owner-operators to the vendors, the data standard really helps define a common language across all of those different stakeholders, which means that it's much, much easier for vendors to ship data back and forth to each other, because this data doesn't come into a system and reside there permanently, right? It flows through the ecosystem, starting with as residents come in and how guest cards are created, through leasing, and then, as well as as we loop back to the beginning of the resident journey in terms of when they go to find apartments, right? So how ODMs are communicating this stuff out to, say, ILSs, listing services, and just having a standard, having a common language, make sure that everything that you're doing means the same thing in every place, right? And makes it much, much easier from a product perspective to consume, surface, and translate that for folks.
Tell us, everything's evolving so quickly, and you could argue that the pace of change or pace of innovation is accelerating materially. As the introduction of AI, the introduction of no-code applications, we only see the acceleration continuing. Where do you see this in just a journey, like MITS 2.0 as a journey? Because all of this is a journey, right? There's no one and done. So where do you see kind of the 3 to 5 year evolution of this MITS 2.0?
Well, starting with the fee transparency, which is the property marketing ILS standard, that's where we are focusing our efforts now, and updating that to accommodate the fee transparency that is needed in the industry. But next we want to look at all of the MITS standards and modernize them to a more modern language. We've had a lot of requests for that. So we're thinking it's probably going to be JSON. And, I think that a lot more applications will be able to use JSON. And then, gosh, I don't know. You take
after
the 5
that,
years.
and it's really about driving adoption, because all of the work we're doing right now is really foundational to allow both on the vendor side as well as on the ODM side for them to build AI capabilities on top of that. You can't build AI and machine learning capabilities on quicksand. So having that strong data foundation underpinned by a strong data model is really going to help people drive those additional capabilities forward.
Really good point. It's a data cleanliness now for the AI application later on. We've announced a partnership. We talk a lot about kind of a certification as it pertains to MITS 2.0. How might ODMs kind of find who is a certified MITS 2.0 integration partner?
Well, years ago, back when MITS started and we started publishing standards, we actually did have MITS certifications. It was so widely adopted that we know, at least let's call them the vendors who have been around longer than the whole ocean wave of new vendors. We knew they were using it, and as owner operators, we would insist that they were MITS certified. So now with our partnership with Revise, when we get there, we really hope that we'll be able to again have a badge certifying that they're MITS compliant or MITS. Is it compliant? I don't know what to call it anymore. But using the MITS standards as, at least the baseline. Obviously, there's always customizations that different clients are going to need. But I think that having that baseline, we know that at least the bulk of our industry processes are kind of normalized.
We're in awe of all of the amazing advocacy and just the work that RETC and NMHC are doing, and to partner up and to help merchandise some of these incredible initiatives is important to us at Revise as well. So thank you for the partnership.
Yes.
Team, thank you for sitting down and helping us explain kind of the evolution, RETC, MITS 2.0. We're all excited about it, and it was really nice to have you on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.